Welcome back to the show, guys. Today we have a special guest. Dude, her acolytes are just so broad. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get them all because they go on forever. But I'm gonna try to get the ones that I was able to remember. So we have a track champion, basketball champion, taekwondo champion, karate champion, Muay Thai champion. She was the first African American ISKA world champion. That's the first ever, by the way. Welcome to the show, Fredia, the Cheetah Gibbs, the most dangerous woman in the world.
Hey, thanks for having me, Mo. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for coming, Fredia.
Yep.
Dude, Fredia, yeah. When I was doing my research on you, I was literally, there's just so much about you. I was like, dude, I don't think I can remember all this.
Right.
It seems like you've just done it all in combat sports and just in sports in general. I mean, what was the drive to get into athletics?
Obviously I was naturally athletic because my mom was athletic, my dad was. But what actually got me into participating in starting in martial arts was the fact that I used to get bullied a lot as a young kid. And I was very small but smart, and I used to always run home from the school bus every day. Actually, the kids chased me home from the school bus, so running from my bullies is what really made me fast. But it got to the point where I didn't want to go to school anymore. So my self-confidence and self-esteem was pretty low. And my uncle, who happened to be a martial art instructor at Quiet Storm Martial Arts School in Pennsylvania, he had learned that I didn't want to go to school anymore. He also learned that I was being bullied a lot. And he came up to the my home there, and he put his arm around my shoulder. I'll never forget it. And he said, "Look, so I hear that you're being bullied a lot." I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Now I also hear that you don't want to go to school anymore." "Yeah, you're right." He said, "Well, you can't live life like that. He said, "You can't continue to run all your life. You got to learn how to stand firm. So what we're going to do is teach you how to build your self-confidence and self-esteem." And I said, "How are we going to do that there?" He said, "I want to teach you martial arts." I was like, no, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. And moving forward on that there, once I got into martial arts, it was just like love it. I was in love with it, and still am to this day.
Yeah.
You dig? My confidence went from here to here to here to here to here. The rest is history.
Yeah. How old were you when you said you were like
10? I was 10 years old.
Wow.
I started taekwondo at 10 years old.
Damn, so you were being bullied so bad that you just didn't want to go to school and all that at 10?
No.
That's crazy. That's the only time I liked school when I was
really?
young, because you're just coloring and stuff. It's not, you know what I
Right.
mean? Why were they bullying you? Was there any particular reason?
Yeah, obviously people bully you because bullies see things that you don't see. Bullies can actually see your gift that you don't see it. I had to figure this here out. And obviously they saw my gift. They forced me to do their homework. And if I didn't do their homework, they were going to beat me up.
Yeah.
When I came into school, they take my lunch, but it was fine. I didn't want it anyway.
I
wanted the cafeteria food, but it was just the principle of things. So that was the reason why they, bullied me, because they saw my gift. And, bullies are like gifts to all. What I've learned today is that bullies are like a gift to us. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Because what they're going to do is constantly keep, like an enemy. They're going to constantly keep you on your P's and Q's. They're going to constantly wake you up, and they're going to constantly force you into your greatness. So that's in a positive way how I see bullies or haters. You dig?
Yeah. No, that's a good way to look at it. It's kind of interesting you said that because I feel like the current culture is like very anti-bully. I'm super against like aggressive bullying, but I think this way that society works is you kind of have to have people that kind of get on you. Maybe not to the extent to where they make you not want to go to school and all that,
Right.
but at least people to make you, I guess, want to do better in a sense, or be able to try to compete with them,
Right, yeah.
Especially like in when it comes to athletics, which is very important, to have that person that can help push you,
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot better when you're friends, though, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
Not someone you hate, but damn, that's crazy. So then you started with karate, and you said your uncle was one that got you started, so he was like the owner of the dojo?
Yeah, he wasn't the owner of the dojo. He was, one of the top instructors, but it was called Quiet Storm Martial Arts School. It was one of the most lethal martial arts schools in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
You dig? And it was all, predominantly, African-American businessmen, from lawyers to judges to entrepreneurs to businessmen to engineers, blue collar guys. It was just all exclusively men. And I just learned a lot from these guys. They taught me self-confidence, self-esteem. They taught me about emotional intelligence. They taught me self-defense. They taught me how to close my eyes and, feel it. They taught me about the importance of energy. You did, because I didn't know. I'm just this young kid growing up. And energy, you can feel positive energy. You can feel negative energy. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those are various different things. They taught me meditation, and everything that they taught me is something that I apply in my everyday life. So I had no idea what they were teaching me, but I was like a sponge, observing everything and absorbing everything. And to this day, I utilize just about every technique that I was taught as a young kid, teenager growing up.
Dang. Yeah, I feel the same way from when I started martial arts.
Yeah, so you get it, right?
Yeah. No, I get it. So did that help with the bullying? Like, would you go beat up the
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It definitely helped with the bullying. In fact, the bullying eventually stopped because I stopped running from my bullies, and it got to the point where I had to, defend myself from, one of my bullies, and all you have to do is just defend yourself from the baddest bully.
Yeah.
There were like 3 of them, and all you got to do is choose the baddest one, and take on the baddest one and beat the baddest one, and then the rest will stop. And what's crazy is once I did eventually confront my bully, it was like, we're best friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, this chick is crazy. I'm not your best friend. You know what I mean? But it happens like that.
Yeah.
We're best friends. So
I had to wake
them up. To this day.
Wow.
Whenever I go back to my hometown and I see my bullies, they're like so proud of me. It's like great, like, oh my God, I love you, this, that, and the other. And I'm thinking, my first thought when I see them is, I go back in time like, there's one of my bullies.
Yeah.
But
it feels nice.
We grow up.
Doesn't it feel nice being able to, I guess, be at that level where now they're the ones that look up to you and they used to look down to you,
Yeah. You look down at me and throw me in trash cans, corner me and take my lunch, take my money, everything, force me to do their homework. Yeah, right. You never forget those experiences.
No, of course not, dude.
Yeah.
And I think getting older too is like, sometimes I think about like people that mistreated me, and I'm like, sometimes I wonder like what they're going through. You know what I mean? So a lot of the times it's not that they're just a mean person. It's just they got other stuff that's going on.
That's a key point there. And what I also observe is that the majority of my bullies back in my hometown, all of them are overweight. They're not happy, obviously. You can see it. And also what I've learned is that some of them were probably bullied at home.
Yeah.
And they didn't know how to channel their frustrations and their anger. So they, chose me.
Yeah.
You dig? Because I was never bullied at home. It was a lot of love and fun and sports at my home.
Yeah.
You dig?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I feel the same way because when I was a kid, I remember I'd get bullied by some kids, and then now that I'm older, I look back on like the situation and I'm like, damn, this kid had it rough too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So everyone's going through it, but that doesn't give them an excuse, but it just gives you perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So, but that's a beautiful thing about martial arts, dude, is it gets everyone on an even playing field,
Bingo. And I feel like even to this day that it should be mandatory for everyone, every child to learn martial arts, including the bullies, because they're going through things at home, just everyone, just to build everybody's self-confidence, build everyone's self-esteem. And I feel like that, if everyone gets involved in the martial arts, then this world will be a better place.
Oh, for sure.
You dig? Because there's self-discipline in this art. There's self-control in this art. There's emotional intelligence in this art. You know what I mean? It's all about attitude, being able to accept rejection, accept win, loses, or draws, and be able to accept them, with good attitude and great sportsmanship. That makes sense. And everything we apply in the art, we can also apply outside the art, outside the ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You dig?
Yeah, I totally agree. And I've just witnessed the change. Like I see kids come in that they're just like not on a good track. And the ones that stay are the ones that usually like start picking their life up, and like they find value in the lessons that are being taught inside the on the mats or in the ring or the dojo, wherever you're training.
Yep.
Dude, I see it time and time again. Like I always talk to my friends, and I'm like, if you're an asshole in the gym, is like you're just an asshole in life, because
Pretty
some
much.
people like are assholes, but then once they start training, it's like you peel those layers back. But if you continue to be an asshole, it's like you're just that's just you forever.
That's
bro.
who you are.
Can't fix that,
Yeah, exactly. That's who you are, without a doubt.
Yeah. No, that's a beautiful thing. Okay, so you did Taekwondo. You became, at what age were you a black belt at?
I earned my black belt differently from everyone else.
Okay.
You know, because my uncle, he gave me special attention. Like every Saturday, we would spar every Saturday. There were times when he would take me to various different gyms in Philadelphia, and I would spar their top fighters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it was different, very different. But the way I earned my black belt is every Saturday, my uncle and I would spar, and this went on for many years. And what he would do, he would come in, he put the key down behind him near the door. And he was like right here, and I was on the opposite side. And the goal was for me to fight my way past him, get the key, unlock the door, and walk out.
Mm-hmm.
And I sparred with my uncle for many, many years until eventually I was able to emotionally intelligent, use my emotional intelligence, self-control, and all my techniques to fight him really hard, grab the key and walk out. And I had to walk out. There's no way he wanted me to grab the key and run out.
Uh-huh.
I had to walk out. That makes sense?
Yeah.
And that's how I eventually earned my black belt. So I earned my black belt differently from everyone else.
Yeah. You said that took years. How many? You just think that took like 3?
Well, no. I started at 10 years old. So probably about when I was like 19 or 20.
Wow.
Yeah, because he fought me just like a man.
Yeah.
You know, he went at me very, very hard. Very hard, just like a man. And it was tough. But as I got older, I was becoming stronger. At the time, I was an All-American in track. I was an All-American in basketball. You know, so I was getting much stronger and taller and wiser, and everything that he was teaching me, you know, I was executing those techniques, and I was also learning from all the other different martial artists in the school. So, you know, that's how it happened.
Dang, that's like jujitsu, man. You know how jujitsu takes forever to get a black belt?
Exactly, yeah, it took forever, right?
Yeah, dude, my dojo, I'm not going to throw the name out there, my TKD dojo, they were handing out black belts. Because you know how you have to pay for it? It's like $200 every belt, you know?
Right, yeah.
So they just hand them out, you know?
Yeah,
so that's crazy. That means you were actually a real black belt. You actually earned it, you know?
Yeah, I'm a real one.
You know?
Yeah, not the traditional ones where they give you your belt or you pay for it.
Yeah.
No, our art was very different.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you still practice karate? Is that still something that you enjoy doing, or is that kind of something you...
I mix everything together. When I'm like, because I spar a lot. In fact, every time I go to the gym, I go to various different gyms. I'm always sparring. I combine my taekwondo, my kickboxing, even my judo techniques. I combine everything together.
Yeah.
Now, you know, and so you can call it mixed martial arts, but we've been doing mixed martial arts way before they called it mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
And I just apply everything.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I've mixed a little bit of taekwondo with my Muay Thai too, so it's. I mean, I'm doing only Muay Thai now, but it's cool because it gives people a different look, especially like the angles of the kicks. You know,
yeah, exactly. Like the spinning back fist or the spinning side thrust.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, back kicks. No one really throws back kicks.
Yeah, exactly.
Side kicks.
Yeah.
I love side kicks.
Exactly.
I throw those way more than teeps. You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're way more useful, I think, in my opinion. You know.
Yeah, they are. They work too.
Yeah.
Big time.
All right, so you were 19, you got your black belt, and then I'm assuming you took off to college at this point?
Yep. Took off to college. I received a dual scholarship, Division I scholarship at Temple University for basketball and track. And I was only there for 6 months. Mind you, I'm this straight All-American athlete. I was only there for 6 months. Reason being, I was the top rookie at Temple University. And, you know, I was hanging with the seniors. So after every basketball game, what the seniors would do is have a party. The male and females would all get together and have a party in this room. And when I say they partied. I mean, they drank, they did Black Beauties. You know what I mean? They did cocaine. They did weed. Let's put it this way. Every time I walked into the room, I would have my drink. I'd snort a little bit of cocaine. This is the first time I've ever touched any drugs ever, you know, and we'd all wake up butt naked the next day. So
already like the 90s right there.
Exactly. So the bottom line is I lost my dual scholarship because I got strung out on drugs. First time I've ever did them. Strung out on beauty, strung out on cocaine. You know, didn't go to classes. The only thing I wanted to do was play basketball and run track.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they, 6 months in, they told me that I had to go.
Wow.
You know,
that's pretty early.
Yeah, that was it was a shocker too. That was really my reality check.
Yeah.
You know,
were you like attempting to pursue like a degree in something, or were you just doing it for basketball?
No. I wanted to become a physical therapist.
Okay.
But I didn't have connections with the teachers in classes. My classes were enormous. You know, like 200 students. I wasn't. The teacher never addressed me as, Miss Gibbs or Fredia. It was always my social security number, my last social security number. So there was no connection. Because I had no connection with the instructor, I just I just had no connection. I have to have a connection in order to learn, and my leader or my coach, the instructor, he had no connection with me.
Yeah.
I'm a little different from other people. So I just didn't go to class.
Yeah. No, it's interesting you said that because I had like the same issue too with going to school. Was like I did terrible in school until I got to college because like I feel like once you get to college they treat you like an adult and there's more of like a it's like you're a student and they're their teacher, but you're kind of like friends,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they get to know you on a personal level because you want to be there, so they're willing to teach you better. In college, I got like straight A's, dude.
Right.
But in
Right.
high school, it was all like D's and C's. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, I think there's that definitely speaks volumes on like how our education system is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
They should all go to martial arts.
Right.
Learn how to like teach better,
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in college, you get kicked out. So what's next?
Well, actually, when I got kicked out, I'll never forget this as long as I live, Mo. I hadn't even left the university yet. Okay. And it was already in the newspapers. Fredia Gibbs fells out too much too soon.
Wow.
Here I am going to the bank to withdraw money to catch the train back to my hometown. I go to the bank. I'll never forget this. I go to the bank. I had on shades. I go to the bank. And mind you, I was stoned. I was stoned, so I really didn't care. I didn't understand what I had done to myself.
Mm-hmm.
At least I thought I did to myself, but I realized I had hurt other people as well. I go to the bank to withdraw money, and I'm standing in line, and this lady's in front of me, and she's talking to the teller, and the teller was like, I heard the teller say, "Did you hear what happened to Fredia Gibbs?" Now, mind you, I'm the second one in line, and I heard my name.
Did they know you were in line or
no?
No,
no.
Coincidence.
It's like, oh my God, did you hear what happened to Fredia Gibbs? How could she do that to us?
Oh.
And I immediately turned around, didn't even go to the bank teller. I immediately turned around, I walked out, and I was like, what does she mean? How could I do that to us? I'm just this young kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still a teenager. What do you mean us? And then I go to the train station, and I'm hearing people, I'm seeing newspapers. Fredia Gibbs, flunks out too much too soon. I still have the article to this day.
Wow.
Too much too soon. Fredia Gibbs. I'm seeing these, and I'm turning them over, and I got this hat on, my temple hat on, and then I'm on the train. I'm hearing people talk about me. And it was like, I was like, oh my God, what have I done to myself? Because mine in high school, we were state champions in track. I was a 5A's, 2C student. I was in college preparatory. Never touched any drugs or alcohol ever in my life. You dig? Never.
Yeah.
And when I went to Temple, things changed. I don't know what it was because I didn't have my mom there or whatever, supervision, whatever, but things changed. I was on my own. And it was like the biggest reality check. Then what happened? I found myself, when I went back home, I found myself back in the projects. You dig?
Yeah.
And that's when my eyes opened up. It was like I had to compare, like, what you're back here in the projects. You were the top female athlete in the state of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
What have you done? And I'm just looking around like, oh man, I really messed up. But what was good is a few other universities in Pennsylvania also learned that I had flunked out. And one of the coaches' name is Mike Tenaglia. He reached out to my grandparents. At the time, I just left. I had to leave because, I had to get myself together. I had to find Fredia.
Mm-hmm.
This coach, Mike Tenaglia, he reached out to my grandparents, and they said, listen, we want Fredia Gibbs to play on our team. We want her to come to our university. And my grandmother was like, well, she's in New York right now. And I was like in rehab. And actually helping my auntie out with her hotel in Brooklyn on my father's side. And my grandmother said, listen, this coach came to the house and he wants to know, they want to offer you another scholarship, to come to the university. It's a Division III school, but they want to offer you the scholarship to come and play for them. And I said, well, I want Division III, man. I don't want to go no Division III. So I'm not a Division III athlete. I'm a Division I athlete,
Yeah.
And finally, I decided to come on back after I finished helping my auntie out in New York and getting me back together, focused on who I really am. And I had an opportunity to meet with Mike Tenaglia, and he sat down. He said, listen, I know that I'll never forget this conversation, Mo. He said, I know there's no way that I could ever get anyone of your caliber here at this school. It's called Cabrini University. He said, but what I can promise you You come visit, we can promise you that you'll get a good education, because that was my main focus, is to get a good education. All in exchange, we want your talents to change our program around. And in exchange, we will help pay for your education and ensure that you get a better education, because that was my only focus. When I return, I'm going to get a degree, you know. And I'll never forget, I went on campus, and I loved it, because I was going to come to California, you know, and be a walk-on for UCLA or USC. And I knew once I walked on, I knew and grabbed the ball, I knew they was going to give me a scholarship. You know, I was going to walk on first, USC or UCLA. And when I walked on the campus there at Cabrini University, it was like I fell in love with it. You know, I was like, okay, I can work with this here. So in exchange, that's what I did. I gave them my talents. I turned their entire athletic program around. When I arrived, they were NAIA. When I left, the first year I was there, they became NCAA. And because there was a mixture, you know, because I was already NCAA as far as scoring, and I was already top rookie within the first 6 months, you know, at Temple University. And then here you got NCAA, and here my name is in NAIA, but yet NCAA is also combined with that. So what they did, they just went ahead and said, listen, they're getting Fredia Gibbs' names mixed up. So they said, listen, Cabrini University, you're going to be NCAA from this point moving forward. You dig? So that's how that all happened. And I turned their entire program around.
Wow. And so how long?
Got a degree.
So you already finished your whole degree? So you were there for like 3 years or something?
No, I was there for like 4 years. I actually graduated from Cabrini in 1988.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where I was born, 2 years before.
Yeah, right? Okay, yeah. So now, small world, huh? Now you know how old I am, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you turned Capri around, and then what's next in this chapter of your life?
Oh, well, after that I went to Colorado Springs for like 30 days to try it for the Women's Basketball European League. And all the head coaches came over from Europe to Colorado Springs at the training center. The Olympic Training Center. So I was there for 30 days. All the top female athletes there were trying out for the teams. You know, Spain, Germany, you know, all the European teams, Australia, etc., all of them. And I made a team. And from there, I went to Germany for 2 years, played basketball for 2 years. And I was satisfied. You know, I'd accomplished my basketball goals. I was satisfied. And I wanted to do something else. And during the time that I was over there in Germany, I did learn judo. You know, so I was practicing judo and playing basketball at the same time. And I'll never forget, I was watching television because I was like, you know, my contract is up. I'm not going to renew it. And I said, well, what am I going to do next? And when I said that there, I saw Sensei Benny the Jet Urquidez from the Jet Center in California. I saw him on television, and he was kickboxing, this Asian Thai guy. And I was like, that's what I want to do. So what I did, I wrote all his information down, you know, and when my contract ended, second year in basketball, I went ahead and went straight to California, knocked on Benny the Jet's door, started training with him, you know, and then, you know, I was still an amateur there. You know, I wasn't a kickboxer, but I was a taekwondo person. He gave me to his wife, Sensei Lily Rodriguez. And I became too strong for her, you know, because when she would hold the pads so I can throw push kicks, you know, I push her center way down there. She's like, you're not supposed to be kicking your trainer weight. And I'm like, what? You know? So she gave me to her brother, Ruben. And the rest is really history. Urquidez. The rest is really history because all of my fights were with the Urquidez. I became world champion with them guys. Yeah. In kickboxing and Muay Thai. You know, the rest was history. That's how I shocked the world with those guys.
Yeah. So when you had that fight with that French lady, I can't remember the name.
Valerie Wiet-Henin, the most dangerous woman in the world.
The most dangerous one in the world. You're the new one, right?
Yeah, the old one. Right.
So you were with that same team, or did you move to a different camp?
No, I was with Ruben Urquidez, their gym in Tarzana. But what they had done, because the fight was Muay Thai, they had taken me to Saxon Janjir, the Muay Thai Academy in North Hollywood, to learn Muay Thai. So I trained with Saxon Janjir, you know, for like 90 days learning Muay Thai because the world championship fight was Muay Thai. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, and man, I fell in love with Muay Thai. Listen, that goes back to karate. Here I am sparring with Saxon. He's a Muay Thai guy. Now, mind you, Saxon is like Saxon in Thailand is like Tom Brady here in America. during that time. So I'm sparring with him to Muay Thai and my Taekwondo, and he destroyed me.
Yeah.
So that was real inspiration and motivation for me to quickly learn Muay Thai because he literally destroyed my leg. They were black and blue.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I got to learn that. Just like you did, I got to learn that. You
Yeah.
got to teach me that. Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing about martial arts, right? It's like a true martial artist will see what's effective, and instead of turning away to it, they'll be like, "Oh, I need to learn this. This needs to be a part of my arsenal."
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. I gotta learn that.
Yeah, that was the thing with Taekwondo is they're very traditionalist. I remember I went to only 2 dojos, right? And my parents were split when I was little, right? And so I spent one summer with my dad, and I went to this dojo that my cousin was going to, closer to his pad. Came back to my dojo, and dude, my sensei was so butthurt, He's like I betrayed him. But I think a good like coach should be like encouraging you to check out other spots. Like they should. It's like what's that word? How's that word go? It's like if you love someone, set them free, right?
Oh, dude, I just said if you love someone, let them go. If they come back, they're yours. If they don't, they never were.
Exactly,
I just said that. Yeah,
that's a good coach, right? He just let you explore other avenues, and hopefully you come back. If your guys' bond is strong, then you'll come back.
Exactly.
But yeah, I had a similar situation with Muay Thai. I got beat up in high school by a Muay Thai guy, and I was like, I need to learn Muay Thai, dude.
Yeah, I gotta learn that. There, you just beat me up. I gotta learn that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Saxon's pretty up there though. Like lately, they've been putting on some shows, man. They're I think they're MMA now, right? Is it still just pure striking, or are they doing MMA now?
I'm not sure. His he got that successful gym out there in Texas, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I did see him.
Oh, so that's not the same one. Isn't there one out here too? Is there a Saxon or no?
Oh yeah, there's one. You talking about the Saxon Muay Thai Academy up there in
LA?
Van Nuys and Simi Valley?
Yeah. Are they the same?
Well, they're the same guy. Yeah, Julio Trainer.
Got you.
He used to train with us at Muay Thai Academy. He was a little guy then. He was a bad guy. He was an awesome fighter, and he's just a little guy.
Yeah.
And just to see that he is a successful business owner of 2 Saxon Muay Thai gyms is really just awesome.
Yeah. I've been watching because I go to the fights all the time, so I see his guys all the time, dude. They the last time I went to Up Next, I can't remember the name of this kid that he was training, but this dude got like a knockout in like the first round, like I think the first minute. Craziest knockout. I was like, wow.
Yeah, they're an awesome school.
Yeah.
All these schools are awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're a gym that's been around for like close to 10 years, you know your stuff. Usually like within 10 years, the ones that are kind of like all right start to fade away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you come down here, you're training Muay Thai, and then are you working are you using your degree towards like your job, or what are you doing out?
At the time, I was I got a gig at the AT&T.
Okay.
And I was working from 5 a.m. until 12 noon.
Wow.
5 days a week. Making very good money. Probably make about $2,000-$3,000 a week.
Yeah.
Working part-time.
That's pretty good.
That was very
that's
good.
Back then money too.
Yeah, buddy. That was big. That was really, really good money. And one of my sponsors was one of the owners of AT&T at where I was located at. But I was working for those guys at the time.
All right. So you're out here. You're working at AT&T. You're training with Saxon, and then I'm assuming you have a fight with the Saxon.
Yeah. What do you mean fight? Well, actually, Dennis Warner.
Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis Warner, the promoter.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Still doing it.
Yeah. My first fights, like I said, all my fights were with the Urquidez family. So Dennis Warner probably gave me probably about 8 of my fights were probably with Dennis Warner. 8 or 9 of them were with him in the very beginning. And that was before the World Championship fight. And the World Championship fight was with ISKA. You dig? And from there, it was all a matter of just me defending my world title.
Yeah. That dude, Dennis is still doing it.
Yeah, he is.
I just saw him like a week or 2 ago. We have one of our guys, Julio, fighting. So Dennis came by to, I guess, talk to him and see what's up,
Dennis is the man.
Yeah.
I know he opened the doors for me.
Yeah.
He's been around for very long. He's a legend. He's a legendary promoter.
Yeah. I wish he was more skilled with the IG. I feel like, he needs to hire like someone to run his IG page or something because, you know what I mean? It's for all the amount of like fights he puts on. I'm like, dude, you got to post more, dude, and like, but yeah, what was I about to say? Dude, the thing I like about Dennis is he'll come to like people's gyms and he'll talk to the fighters,
Sure.
I've never really seen any other promoter do that, to be honest.
Yeah, he's real down to earth. He's really down to earth and he has a really good heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a great passion for the sport. He understands the sport.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I just was talking to him about, what's this fighter's name? It was from like the early 90s. It was that Taekwondo guy that used to do a bunch of spinning stuff.
Which one's that?
Dude, it's a guy that no one even knows about. I checked
Really?
I checked his IG too. He only has like 200 followers. And I was talking to Dennis about him. And he's like, yeah, I put on his first fight. And I was like, whoa, what a small world. Because I just remember I saw one of his fights and I saw a WCK like in the back. And I was like, yo, you know this guy?
You don't know? Okay.
It's something, dude, it's top of my head. It's gone. My memory's bad, dude. I'll send it to you. You would probably like his style.
Okay.
It's like Muay Thai, Taekwondo driven.
Yeah. Dennis started my fights, all of them.
Yeah. All right. So you're fighting for WCK, ISA. You got the belt. At what point do you get challenged, or do you challenge that French lady?
Well, I didn't challenge her.
She challenged you?
She challenged me. Yeah, I was back at home at the time because I'd gotten into a bad situation where I had came up against this. I went to this domino party down in Inglewood. You dig? And it was just not a good idea because I found myself around people that I didn't know, and they were constantly giving me drinks left and right. And I'm going to say it just like this. This is how serious it was. They were giving me drinks left and right, back and forth and back, right and left. You know what I mean? Left and forth. Every time I turn around, there were drinks, and I don't drink. So that was a eye opener for me right there. That makes sense?
Yeah.
And then when I finally did take a sip, I suddenly felt real tired, So I went in the bathroom because trying to learn dominoes. I went in the bathroom, threw water on my face. And I was like, damn, my eyelids are just about to fall down. They were ready to, I kept throwing water on my face. I come out of the bathroom and, man, this guy named Lonnie. The bottom line is I came across this guy named Lonnie and I took a ride with him. Not even take a ride. He agreed to take me home. I tell him turn right, he turned left. Next thing you know, he had me trapped in his van and I had to fuck him up. There's no other way to say it. And that's just the way it is. He literally tried to beat me. You understand? What was crazy is, in the beginning, all he kept saying is, let me stick it in and I'll take you home. That was all this dude kept saying. I'm like, look, let me out this van. You'll never see me again. And Benita never see me again. So I'm just shortcutting things. And it got to the point where I just had to unleash on him. Unleash leg kicks. Well, our Muay Thai leg kicks are like axe kicks. So I started chopping his legs and punching him in the face, chopping his legs, punching him in the face. We had a fight in the van. I eventually, he tried to tackle me. I grabbed the end of his shirt tail, slammed it down, ran down, grabbed his pants, pulled him a shoe, stepped on his chest, and I grabbed his dick. And once I grabbed his dick, he was like, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. Oh, so now you want me to get out. So it went from, let me stick it in and I'll take you home. And get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. But eventually I did escape. As time went on, about 10, 15 years later, I learned that he had actually raped and killed over 100 black sisters in Inglewood. So that was pretty much a shocker. You dig? And that was in 1993 when he and I had our encounter. And then, like I said, 10, 15 years later, I learned that he was a serial killer. And the man obviously went on to kill more than, 100 women, which was just terrible.
That's crazy.
It was really terrible.
100 women?
Yeah, over 100. Before me. And that's what happened. I had gone back home because I was never going to return to California again. And the only reason why I did return is because I received a call from the gym. Them telling me, hey, look, we got, an opportunity for you to fight for the world title. And that was the only reason why I returned.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Yeah, that was heavy. It was a heavy experience. I'll never forget as long as I live, man.
Yeah.
Never, ever.
I don't think I would if that happened to me.
No, not at all.
Was he like your friend or how'd you?
No. I met him through this girl named Benita. I met at the job. And I had only known these people for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
At this new job. I known them for about 3 weeks. At the job, they were always playing dominoes. I didn't know how to play dominoes. I found it quite interesting. So when I got my paycheck, they invited me down to the domino party. Benita did. And I went with Benita to her home. And that's when Lonnie came over. So in my mind, I thought he was her dude, because they'd went into the bedroom. They were there for a while. So in my mind, like I said, I thought it was her dude. So that's actually how I met Lonnie, through Benita.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. I have 2 little sisters, and I want them to get a carry permit. because of stuff like that, dude. You never know. It could be your friend. It could be your friend's friend, dude.
Can't trust nobody, bro.
And martial arts is cool to know, but it's better to just be able to just pull a trigger and be done with it,
Yeah, they're both. Doing both. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like everyone should carry, particularly girls. It's a shame. The story Little Red Riding Hood. That story is like really real.
Yeah.
Little Red Riding Hood, she gonna meet a wolf.
Yeah.
They're out there. You guys know how y'all are. You know what I mean? And I just feel like, and it's just so frustrating. Every time I turn on television, I hear about these girls being kidnapped and meeting these men at Walmart and buying them clothing. And then they go back to this hotel with these men and then they disappear. Then they find their bodies. It's just so terrible. It just hurts me, and every little girl needs to learn self-defense, and every woman needs to learn how to shoot a gun.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Wow, that's a crazy story.
Yeah, it is. Pretty crazy.
Do you feel like that's kind of like impacted like a big part of your life in terms of the decisions that you started making afterwards?
Well, how do you mean that? Like
did you start changing things because of that situation in your life?
With the fight with Lonnie?
Well, just the way your perspective on life, how you interface with it.
Yeah, it changed me, obviously for the better. I take a lot of things more seriously, like my self-defense. I take that way more seriously, because if it wasn't for me knowing how to fight, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah.
But, I have a pretty solid foundation when it comes to being around men. Like my mother has 8 brothers, you dig? So, and my father has 2 brothers. So I grew up literally around 13 guys. So just having that experience within itself and having the mindset, mind you, I've fought all of my uncles with an exception of 2. Me grabbing Lonnie's dick his dick wasn't the first one I ever grabbed. Mm-hmm. My brother and all my uncles I had plenty of practice.
They laid practice on
that. I'm just letting you know I had plenty of practice. Yeah. And what I learned is once you grab it, every last one of them hands went up just like this. Every single last one of them.
Oh yeah.
Go up this and they go, okay, what do you want? My one uncle stopped grabbing my food off my plate when I'm eating. You understand? My second uncle stopped pulling my hair. When I'm walking out the door. So there were certain things they were doing to me to force me to come back and grab their groins.
Yeah.
And every last one of them, even my brother, including my brother, when I had to get him, stop taking my car when I'm asleep. Mm-hmm. You understand?
Yeah.
So I had plenty of practice grabbing the groin, a man's groin. Plenty. And I only had to do it once.
Yeah.
But there were certain rules that I had to give them. Stop taking my car when I'm asleep. Stop pulling my hair. Stop taking my food. Just various different things. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I had that type of mindset already.
It's a very effective technique.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
It should be taught in school. I tell my coach, like, hey, we got to add this to the repertoire.
Yeah, absolutely, because it works.
It's not going to work in the ring, but in life, it's good to have that in the back.
Absolutely. I'm trying to tell you.
Wow, that's crazy. It's powerful, though. Man, dude, I can't imagine. If my sister's... Oh, man, dude. I would go to jail, dude. I would literally, I wouldn't even care about the law, bro. I would take care of that myself, dude,
Yeah. Well, we all say that, but, the law is different, especially here in California. They don't believe in self-defense, and that's pretty That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because first of all, in combat sports, the number one rule is to protect yourself at all times. And that's also be the number one rule in life, as far as to protect ourselves at all times. But unfortunately, it's not only the authorities are able to protect themselves at all times. But I'm down for it. I'm going to protect myself. I don't care what nobody says.
Yeah, we have one life, man.
That's it.
You're not taking my life.
No.
If it's me or you, it's going to be you. I'm sorry.
For sure. I feel the same way.
You know what I mean?
I feel the same way, for sure.
I'll figure it out later, dude, with the law and all that, dude. Maybe I'll take off to Vietnam or something.
Right?
They don't extradite. The little life hack for all you out there. If you commit some type of crime, Vietnam does not extradite.
Right.
It's a beautiful country.
Right.
Yeah. So okay. So you take off from California, you go back home. I'm assuming you're just going through all the emotions. And I'm assuming you're not probably training or working or anything.
No. I wasn't. I was actually I was an emotional wreck. I was shocked. Mm-hmm. After the after effect, I was shocked that I was actually trapped in a van with this strange man who was actually trying to hurt me, which was crazy. And I have such an awesome mom. You know, I'll never forget my mom saying to me, "Listen, sissy, you need to get control here. Let's get some emotional control here. Let me ask you a question. Did he rape you?" I said, "No." She said, "Well, then it was a fight and you won the fight. So get that rape out of your mind. It was a fight and you won the fight." And she was right. You did. It was a fight and I did win the fight. And, I've had many fights with, like I said, all my uncles, with the exception of two, and my brothers, my brother, you did, and my cousins. So I had to connect the dots. But it was just that I was going through things that, like I couldn't sleep at night. I would jump up, and I kept thinking that he was behind, constantly there trying to follow me, or that I was going to walk into him one day. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to experience that there. You know what I mean? Because I remember when I was a kid and I was a bully. I'm running from my bullies. And I'm in class. All of a sudden, I come out of class. There's one bully right there. Oh, then I turn. There's one bully right there. So I kept running into them.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to run into him. So for many years, I thought that, for many years silently, I thought that I would run into him, and I didn't want to again.
Yeah.
You dig? So I would always constantly look over my back, and I thought that he was chasing me for many years. But I eventually learned by going to therapy that I had acquired PTSD. You dig? So that explains everything.
Yeah, no, 100%. I can imagine. I mean, I get PTSD just when, my food gets eaten out the fridge.
Right.
So, my roommate eats my food. I'm like, no.
right.
So I can only imagine that, dude. That was like a lifetime of PTSD right there.
Yeah, it was. And when they caught him, it was really surprising. I'll never forget coming home from the gym, and I dropped my bag down, got me some water, turned the TV on. He was right there. Right. See how God works? He was right there. And when I learned that he was a serial killer, it kind of freaked me out. Called my mom, called my grandma, told them. And the first thing they said, they so calm. But thank God they caught him. It took them a very long time.
Yeah.
But thank God they caught him. And both of them said the same thing and never, ever even spoke to each other.
Yeah.
You did, but thank God they caught him. So at that time, once they caught him, the spirit of him constantly, me looking over my shoulder or running from him, it went away. That makes sense?
Yeah, no, I get that.
You get it?
Yeah, it sounds like your mom was very, a very important role model or figure in your life. She sounds like a very solid person.
Yeah, absolutely. I was raised by my mom, my two grandmoms, my mother's mother, my father's mother, very, very strong women.
Yeah.
Very strong women. And intelligent, yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's great. So he's gone now, and then that's when you decide to start fighting again?
No, once I got the opportunity to fight for the world title, because like I said, I wasn't going to come back to California again. And I didn't care what they were saying here in California. This is what were they saying? You got everything to gain and nothing to lose. I didn't care. They had no idea what I was experiencing at home. And I'll never forget my mom and I told my mom, I said, they want me to fight the most dangerous woman in the world. And she was like, most dangerous woman, what's her record? I was like 28-2. She was like, she ain't that most dangerous. She already got her ass whooped twice. And like my mom said, look, sister, you're gonna have to learn, you're gonna have to face your fears. You went to California to what? I went to California to learn kickboxing, become world champion. Well, this opportunity is here now. You're gonna have to face your fears. Just don't go back to California. Don't go back to Inglewood. She said, look, we know that you're a star. Now it's your job to go out there and let the world know that you're a star. And that didn't motivate me at all to come back to California. What really inspired me is when they called me from California. Turn on TV, turn on TV, turn on TV. It was one of them talk shows. I don't know, Johnny Carson, David Letterman, or whatever show. And one of the guys said, hey, how can you be the most dangerous woman in the world when you never fought anyone from Northern America? And when she called out my name, well, I'm here to fight Fredia Gibbs. When she called my name out, that's what inspired me. I was like, okay. I had to see it.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I don't care what anyone was saying. No one knows what I experienced in that van with that dude. You understand? I mean, when I got out of the van, I had one earring on. You know, I had one shoe on. You dig? My shirt was ripped off. You know, my sports bra was ripped. You know, we really fought.
Yeah.
You dig? I was really literally fighting for my life, and we fought for a long time. Thank God I knew how to fight. Thank God I knew Muay Thai and kickboxing for me to chop his legs. You know, and once I saw fear after chopping his legs, I knew it was just a matter of timing. You did, yeah. So once I saw I saw her on that show, it was like okay. So she challenged me. It's something that my killer instinct emerged. Okay, so I was back.
Yeah,
you did.
Yeah.
It was showtime.
Why did she call you out specifically? Is there any? Did she know? Are you like popular in France or something? Or
Well,
wow.
Okay.
Wow. That's crazy.
And I was 30 at the time. They said I was 28, and I had 8 wins, 6 knockouts, and my reach was 62 inch. My reach is not 62 inch. My reach is 68 inches. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So their information was inaccurate.
Yeah.
You dig? But ESPN, once they got the information, the video, and bought it from pay-per-view, they put the accurate information down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she probably was thinking that you would be an easier fight than you actually were, just based off the numbers.
Yeah, that's what you look at the numbers. But you got to understand, in Taekwondo, you know, I had probably over 100, 200 fights in Taekwondo. Because in Taekwondo, we fight like 10 times. Well, I fought like 5, 10 times in one show.
Yeah.
You know, these kids today, they only spar one time. Me, I was fighting like 10 times one show.
Yeah.
You know, it was all day long going at it. You follow what I'm saying?
90s, baby.
Exactly. Exactly. So in Taekwondo, I probably had about 200, 300 fights before I even got to her.
Yeah. Yeah. And did you have some fights in karate too?
Yeah. Oh, plenty of fights in karate.
So you were like seasoned at that point.
Very, very seasoned, yeah. And, you know, I had those few fights, the 10 fights with Dennis, 10, 11 fights with Dennis. So I was ready.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. So she came out here. She probably thought she was going to get an easy dub, take that title of the most dangerous woman. And so you put her out in round 3?
Yep, knocked out in round 3. Yeah, man, that was a tough one. And what was crazy is when we trained Muay Thai all the way through. And when I got there, they switched it from Muay Thai to kickboxing. So they said, hey, look, you know, no lower kicks. And that's why my lower body legs got tired so quickly in the 3rd round. But she literally had a 90. She had a 95% chance to get knocked out. You dig? Because that was my percentage. 10, 11, 0, and 10 knockouts. Promoters were telling me back then, asking me back then, look, I'll pay a little extra if you take the girl at least 2 rounds or 3 rounds. And that's what they were telling me. Look, I'll pay you a little extra. Just take her 3 rounds. Don't knock her out in the 1st round. Ain't nobody seeing anything. It's hard for us to get you fights. Yeah. That's why they started bringing the Europeans over. Yeah. You know, because I was knocking girls out in the 1st round. Look, man, I ain't trying to go 3 rounds, bro. Hell. You know what I mean? Shoot, I give my money. I want to go and smoke some weed and party, have some money. You know what I mean? So that's the way that was.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. So they switched it to kickboxing the last minute.
At the last moment.
Was that a strategy you think they used?
That was their strategy, you know, and it was kind of working. I'm trying to tell you, because my legs were really getting tired. I'll never forget. I had to dig deep and ask God to help me because, you know, the old saying, you know how you see it, you believe it. And that's the type of person I am. You see it, you believe it, you achieve it. I actually saw myself falling the 3rd round, and I had to no, I didn't come here to fall. No. And I had to just ask God, Father, you know, help me. My legs are getting tired. And as soon as I said, I'm telling you, this girl got knocked out by the hands of God. You hear me? Yeah. I kid you not. She got knocked out by the hands of God because I probably threw my last 2 kicks because my leg's about to give out. Then I swung, bam, and she just got that was one of the best knockouts I ever had. Yeah. You dig? She spin her around again. Then I was over top of her. The rest was history. Then I knocked her out on my mom's birthday, age 16. See all this here worked all together. It was crazy. I mean, it was just destiny. Like some spirit. Yes, yeah, definitely destiny.
It's defined. Wow. Yeah. And how did you feel for that whole camp too? Because that was your first camp since that whole incident with that dude. I mean, did you feel like your mind was like cleared, or It gave you a distraction?
Oh, no distraction. It was absolutely clear. I mean, working with Saxon, it was a new experience. Muay Thai was a new art for me, and the training was absolutely phenomenal. It was a training that I'd never experienced before. He and I, we met at UCLA, like 4:35 a.m. in the morning. Here I am with sandbags running up, and mind you, Drake Stadium, they got probably like 30 rows of stairs and probably about 40 steps going all the way up. And I'm running up the stairs. He's at the top there. We're going around, boom, boom, punching and kicking, punching, kicking. Then I'm running back down. He's down there. We just punching, then throwing knee, punching. Then I'm going back, running back up. He's at the top. Then we're just doing knees, for a whole minute. It was the best training I'd ever experienced in my life. It was very, very good therapy for me, considering what I had gone through, the emotional trauma that I'd gone through being trapped in a van with Lonnie, which no one knew. I never shared it with anyone at the gym. It was something that I kept privately with my family.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was the best training.
Yeah, it sounds therapeutic, bro. Like, I mean, honestly, that's the beauty of martial arts. I always say that's the beauty of martial arts. It's the beauty, but there's just so much like things so many great lessons that it can teach you. But whenever I'm just having a bad day, just going to the gym is nice to just kind of forget for a couple hours, Yeah,
exactly. Oh, dude, I'm trying to. You hit it right on the button when you're having a bad day. Because sometimes I go to the gym, and like I said, I go to various different gyms to spar a lot, and sometimes I go just to get beat up.
Yeah,
beat me up. It's okay.
Make me feel something.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'll go to beat up.
Yeah.
It's just a good feeling.
Yeah. So you beat this French lady. You're now the most dangerous woman in the world.
Mm-hmm.
What happens next? Do you continue fighting, and does that just kind of fuel you to?
No. Yeah, I continue fighting. I jumped on the that chair like an Amazon cheetah. I took the crown like an Amazon cheetah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't care. I wanted to fight whoever wanted to fight me. I'll never forget meeting Lucille Riker. After the fight, Lucille Riker had came up and approached me, and she was staring me up and down. She was like, "You're very strong." She said they're going to have to pay me a lot of money to fight you, because actually I was supposed to fight Lucille Riker next.
Yeah.
But she refused to fight me in kickboxing. Like she said, "You're very, very strong. This is going to be a tough fight. The only way I'll step in the ring with you is if they pay me a lot of money." This is in kickboxing. This chick never stepped in the ring with me. And I saw fear in her eyes too. I knew she feared me. The very first time we met, I saw fear in her eyes. You dig? And I felt the fear energy. And I thank God back with Quiet Storm, how they taught me how to feel energy, vibrations, because I didn't understand it as a kid. But I get it now. You understand? But when I connected with her, I saw fear. I felt fear. She knew she was going to go down.
Yeah.
And that was in kickboxing. Then we made the transition to boxing. The same thing. She still would not fight me.
She ranked like number 2 or number 1?
No, not in my mind. No.
She's ranked 0 because she don't even want to step up, dude.
Yeah, that's all fixed.
Yeah.
A lot of that's fixed, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Damn.
She ain't fighting no real tough opponents. Because if she had, I often wish that she had fought me in kickboxing, because it would be something that we could sit down and talk about and laugh about and enjoy the legacy together. That makes sense?
Yeah. 100%.
But she didn't. She didn't. She was going to get knocked out, because that's what I do. I was a knockout artist. You had literally any woman who stepped in the ring with me, she literally had a 90% chance of getting knocked out, and she was going to get knocked out.
Okay, so now you make the jump to boxing. Why did you switch to boxing? Did you just want another challenge, or did you have a passion for boxing?
Well, at the time, first of all, I didn't make the jump to boxing. It was still, I had to defend my world title a few times in, ISKA. And I'll never forget with ESPN, I, defended my title. And this girl, what she did, she put Bengay on her gloves. And here we are fighting, and she was punching me, and all of a sudden Bengay got in my eyes. And I'm like, oh, and I smelled. I was like, yo. She was busting me up, bam, bam, bam. I was like, yo, I can't see. I can't see. She was nailing me, bam, bam, kick, pop, 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 pop. This is like the second round. And then finally, she beat me up the whole second round, because she blinded me with Bengay.
Yeah.
All right. Never forget going back to the corner. I was like, there's Bengay in my eyes. I said, ref, she got Bengay on her gloves. They didn't pay any attention to me.
What?
Nothing at all. Then finally, my corner people, they took care of the Bengay, etc. It was like, do you want to stop? Nope. Not at all. Third round came around. Because I always very rarely in kickboxing, I wouldn't pass the third round. It was third round, you were really going down. And third round, man, I broke her ribs. I broke her ribs and tried to kick her out, throw her out the ring.
Yeah.
I said, so this is how we gonna do dirty? And I won. So after I defended my title a few times in kickboxing, then boxing came about, where Christy Martin was not going around knocking all these waitresses out and going and finding girls that she could fight out in the street there. She was knocking all these girls out. So she was becoming very popular in boxing. And, we decided they brought boxing here to America, and we decided to go ahead and make the transition from kickboxing to boxing. That was a very difficult sport, I'm going to tell you. Because keep in mind here, Mo, all my life, I've always used my hands and feet. Making a transition to boxing, it was so hard for me to train my mind to keep my feet down.
Yeah.
It was very, very hard. And boxing is a very tough sport. I didn't really care for it, but I did it because that's what everyone else was doing. You did?
Yeah.
But it's very different. I prefer using 8 weapons rather than 2.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
No, I agree. I like kicking.
Yeah, me too.
I'd rather stay on the outside and kick you and not have to worry about getting punched in the face.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it's funny that you said how everyone was making the jump to boxing, because I feel like boxing is getting like a new awakening. Like I feel like right now everyone's jumping to boxing at this time.
Really?
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of like MMA fighters and just I don't know if it's the money or what it is, or the promotion. Maybe the promotions are bigger now. I don't know.
I think that it's just important for us to learn all arts,
yeah,
and combine them.
Definitely.
You got to know your legs get injured. You got to know how to work them hands. One leg get injured, you still got to know how to work that opposite leg in those hands.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's all about utilizing all of our weapons. And going in there and fighting or competing against someone just boxing only, it's good for us.
Yeah.
That way, when we go back to the ring and we do mixed martial arts, we got it. We're using all of our weapons. So it's just important for us to learn boxing, all mixed martial, combine everything.
Yeah.
Combine all of our weapons. Because when it comes to war, we don't want to use 2 weapons. When it comes to war, we want to use 12 weapons. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree. 100%.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't know about you, but I can kick and punch to save my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel it. Dude, yeah, boxing's it's a cool sport. I like it. I don't really do it as much as I do like Muay Thai, just because that's just my number one love.
Right.
But I respect it, and I think every Thai fighter needs to have good hands.
Yeah.
You can't have like that traditional style is like that doesn't really work nowadays.
Right. Right.
Everyone's moved on to just the Dutch or just taking boxing and utilizing that with traditional Muay Thai. But dude, boxing is tough because the sparring is like, dude, your head's getting rocked. Like,
right.
Like in Muay Thai, you have knees to the body, kicks to the legs. It kind of like allows your head to kind of, you could just sit there and protect your head, But in boxing, it's like they're constantly trying to pull that hand down, find that opening,
Well, I see it kind of differently. I guess because my mindset is, as a fighter, God said it's best to give than receive. So me, I'm more of a giver. You know what I mean? I'm not going to receive those punches and kicks and things like that. I'm more of the giver.
Yeah.
But it is tough. It's definitely tough. But that's why it's important to fight intelligently. We all have like going for the kidneys, going for throwing punches to the kidneys, throwing punches to the liver, throwing punches to the temple. Throwing punches to the solar plexus. It's important to understand the weak points in body and utilize these techniques in order to take your opponent down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
one of the sweet science of boxing is, the kidney, the liver, the temple, the solar plexus.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take those, that's where you got to aim.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it's so different too, because the thing with boxing is they move around a lot. You know how Muay Thai is very just forward?
Right.
They just kind of like march forward, and then boxing, it's like you're kind of like doing this, like, I guess, dance,
Mm-hmm.
So I remember when I took my first boxing class, I was like, damn, I gotta like chase this guy down,
Right.
I was just so used to like just standing in front of each other and banging it out, But it's a cool sport. I respect it. Do you watch fighting at all nowadays? Or?
That's all I watch is fighting.
Yeah.
That's my entertainment.
Oh yeah.
I don't really watch TV like different movies and things. I don't.
Yeah.
That's all I watch is fighting. In my mind, I'm watching judo, practicing judo, or watching on television, or mixed martial art. That's all I watch is combat sports. That's it, period.
Yeah. Did you see how Muay Thai is being inducted to the Olympics?
Oh, it is now?
Yeah. They're gonna have an opening for this Paris Olympics, but I don't think it's gonna be like
it's about time,
dude. Yeah. I remember, I think 5 or 6.
Awesome.
I remember 5 or 6 years ago, they were trying to get the like a regulating rule set, And I just was like, wow, it's interesting. They're making the step. And then finally, like, they accepted it, and it's cool. I think it's good for the culture, you know?
It should have been there a long time ago. Reason being, because UFC, Muay Thai is the most dangerous stand-up game in the world.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's being utilized in UFC today. One of the most popular combat sports in the world.
Yeah.
You know, it's being utilized all around the world, Muay Thai. So it should have been there a long time ago.
Yeah.
But that's very good to hear. I knew it would happen.
One day, yeah. Yeah, the problem, I think, was just because it wasn't like... there wasn't like a global rule set, and it was just not organized. You know how jiu-jitsu is pretty organized. Like if you get a blue belt, I think you get like a certificate that they put online so everyone can look it up and see where you got your blue belt. It's like every competition is going to have similar rules, you know? That's just something you don't see with Muay Thai. You know how Muay Thai, the scoring is different depending on where you go. And it's just, there's just too much sporadicness to the sport. But I know Thailand's been working really, really hard to like adopt like this is singular rule sets. Like this is how we're going to score things.
Right.
This is a governing body now, you know?
I heard about that. Yeah. And they're getting belts now.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know how I feel about that. How do you feel about that?
You know, I feel like it's more commercialized now.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to, because I'm from the old school where you really earn your belts.
Yeah.
You dig? You're not giving them. You earn them, and you don't pay for them. You really earn them. You know, but how I feel about it, if those are the rules, we gotta, you know, adhere to the rules.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I saw that belt system too. I thought that was fascinating because I was like, well, what does that mean? Are they watering the sport down or?
Right.
You know, it's like, is there a criteria for like a blue belt now where it's like, oh, you like, are they gonna have like a kata? You know how like karate and stuff has the kata, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll see. That's up for debate, right?
That's awesome, though. So it's going to be in Paris.
Yeah, they're gonna have its opening, like a showing, literally at the Paris Olympics. I don't know the actual date.
That is really good to learn. I had no idea. Yeah, I knew it would happen one day, though.
Yeah, I interviewed a few fighters that they were trying out for the Olympics. I think none of the guys I interviewed made it, but one guy I'm going to interview is actually I think in Fresno, but he actually made it.
Good.
So
that's good.
Yeah,
represent.
I know, right? USA baby, let's go.
For sure.
I think it's gonna be tight to see the different styles too, because you're gonna see like the Russian style, you're gonna see like the Dutch style. It's gonna be tight. I'm excited.
It's gonna be great. Definitely. I mean, competing internationally, worldwide is definitely a great learning experience. It's a great experience because, like you said, you get to see the diversified skills from all different countries.
Yeah.
And that's one of the advantages that I had in Taekwondo, which a lot of people didn't know here. And when I started kickboxing here in America, is that I was in Germany for 2 years, but I was also a 3-time Taekwondo world champion, meaning that I competed at a young age globally, against different countries. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's before I even learned kickboxing, but they didn't know.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, Fredia. So is there any message you want to give to the youth or anyone that's struggling, going through anything?
Basically, just remember, tough times never last. Tough people do. Rule number 1 in life, protect yourself at all times.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
That's
one.
Rule number 2 in life, protect yourself at all times.
There you go.
And rule number 3 in life, protect yourself at all times. You understand?
Yep.
Don't talk about what you're going to do, be about it. You understand? Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. If you don't know, always ask somebody. But more important, we got to understand that each and every last one of us, it's important for us to always leave whatever we do with great attitude, great sportsmanship, but more importantly, leave with our hands raised. You dig?
Yes.
That's what's important.
It's beautiful. All right. So do you have any socials you want to link or anything that's going on?
What am I on? What do you mean?
Like your Instagram, YouTube,
Instagram, Fredia, the Cheetah Gibbs, you dig? .com, FrediaGibbs.com, Muay Thai Fighters Award.com, YouTube.
Oh yeah, I forgot about to mention
Fredia,
that.
Cheetah Gibbs, YouTube, all of them, FrediaCheetahGibbs.com.
Fredia Cheetah Gibbs, check her out. Also check out her Muay Thai Awards page. That's actually the reason why I wanted to have you on. Like, we didn't even talk about it. You had so much stuff.
Right.
But yeah, she runs this thing. It's called the Muay Thai Awards. It's super tight. She basically recognizes coaches, fighters, and things that they've done for the sport to help push it and help it grow. I'd recommend everyone check it out if you want to see what's going on in the community. I'll add a link to all of her pages in the bio somewhere. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Goodbye, everyone.
Peace.